Hi there, and welcome to Moonstarlodge. It's Catherine Gorman Lovelady. I'm director here, elder, shamanic practitioner. I've been a spiritualist minister, transferred my license. I'm still a minister, but I work in our Indigenous community now with Wolf Island Indigenous Interfaith. And so I've got a wild reading here. And I always forget. Please like this video. It helps with the Google standings somehow. Please subscribe. That also helps, and then you'll automatically get a message. If you feel called to give us some sort of support, we welcome that through our website. And I do this weekly reading here on YouTube. About twice a month I do some extra videos talking about tarot, introducing card decks I love or new card decks. And I also am on Instagram doing short midweek and weekend readings every week. So lots to choose from, and certainly we have courses and a store on our website and that sort of thing, or you can book a private reading. Anyway, let's get to the cards. I decided to change things up this week, and I'm using Kim Cran's The Wild Unknown Tarot, The Wild Unknown Animal Spirit for the Dotems. I'm using Amrit Barr's The Marigold Tarot for Ancestor Messages. And let me see, I'm using the Alana Fairchild Isis Oracle for, instead of the shaman cards, for shamanic empowerment as a healer. I'm still using Judith Pintar's deck for other ancestral messages. And I'm using this is the Marigold Tarot, sort of clarifying these cards. So we've got everything we usually have: Dotems, ancestors, shaman, clarification. But I'm simply using the Wild Unknown stuff by Kim Cran's. It's been out for a long time, but if I had to be deserted on a desert island with only 10 decks, her series of decks would be one of them, and I'll explain that in a different video. All right, so here's how I started pulling. I pulled, these are the main cards for the week. These clarify, so we'll read these and these. We'll do the shamanic input and ancestral input, as well as the astrology cards, which I forgot to mention. The astrology cards are the Black Moon astrological cards, and we'll go from that. All right, so the first card that I pulled is Death, the Death card. And interestingly enough, in a different deck, we also have the Death card. So Death is clarifying death. Well, to me, that says very clearly there's some change. And with this lunar eclipse last week, it was the first time we've had an eclipse that long in 580 years on the Beaver Moon. It shakes things up. Eclipses simply shake things up. And so this is always about rebirth. And it's interesting to me, later we're going to be talking about these cards from the great healer Isis. And this is the Life Restored card. She is the priestess of the phoenix. And if you understand the concept of the phoenix, it's the bird which rises out of its own death ashes to be reborn. So this isn't an ending. This is shifting into a new beginning. It's supported by the energy of the Father of Pentacles, which in a regular deck would be the King of Pentacles. And so this means you've got somebody who's accumulated their wealth, they're settled in their earthly life, they've got all the wisdom of what it takes to live in this third dimension. So you're coming into this change with the knowledge that you need. Why? Because you've got a new beginning here with the Ace of Pentacles. It's clarified these cards, and I perhaps should have put them together. It's easier to see. But here's the Moon card, a Major Arcana card. This is a Major Arcana card, as is this. So the Moon is clarifying these cards here. And it's interesting that this shape is replicated in the shape of the Ace of Pentacles. So this is a new beginning, a new, brand new, amazingly awesome new beginning on the Earth Walk. So don't be surprised. That's like new job, new marriage. This could be the walking away from an old relationship into a new relationship, moving cities, finding out you're pregnant. There's a number of things that this can mean, but it can also be very spiritual too, in that a soul direction or a spiritual direction causes you to make great changes. If you suddenly go from eating meat to becoming vegan, or if you need to move in order to do ecological work, that has a spiritual connection as well on this Earth Walk. This is just such an amazing reading. I have shivers. It's not cold in here. We've got the fireplace on. It's because it's so magical. Here's the Magician card. You are the magician, making all this amazing change with all your wisdom and skills, setting out on a new journey. You are the creator or creatrix of the magic that makes this new enterprise, whatever this may be. And you know, these are general readings. They don't necessarily apply to everyone, but we have to, have some hope. So what you need to do is be a little bit of the hermit. The hermit pulls themselves inward. They are the knowledge keeper. You may want to access a knowledge keeper, but remember that you are the person who contains the most knowledge about your own journey. We need to go within sometimes to access the energy of our oversoul. So going inward, enlightening yourself with information about this journey will keep it safe and solid. Now, to continue clarifying this, so we started with death, clarifying death. We started with the Moon, clarifying here with, there's no illusion. This is going deep within the self. This is connecting with shadow. There are no issues. It's all going to be illuminated. This card is Justice. So this, whether you're applying justice to yourself or a situation as you move into this new venture, who knows? But the other clarifier here is the Lover's card. And we know the Lover's card is about choice as well as about relationships between two people. It's all about bringing ourselves into harmony and balance. And I suspect that there are elements of harmony and balance in here. So what would the great Isis was able to bring Osiris back from the dead. She was a priestess of the light. She was an Egyptian goddess, considered the first female great magician. She manifested. So the first card here is Magic and Ritual, Crafting Sacred Practice. Well, in this Death card alignment here, we do have the need to do ritual. Ritual is part of the Magician card. It's part of the Transformation card. It's part of being the Hermit. Doing rituals for the self are not done in the midst of others or for another group. This is about doing what you need to do magically to manifest this great new beginning. You are life restored. The priestess of the Phoenix is saying after this death, you have this magical new life. And here it is the Eye of Horus, awakening divine perception. I find that quite chilling when I come to the astrological cards, which I'll go to next, simply because they are in alignment. The first card I pulled was Uranus. The energy of Uranus is genius. So there's elements of divine genius in this. Synchronicity, massive shift. There has to be this massive shift. And in this massive shift, you have the energy of Sagittarius, which is I see. Eye of Horus is awakening divine perception. You couldn't get better cards here if I had selectively pulled them, and I never do that. My ethics and I could not do that. So I'm just completely in awe of these cards that I don't usually use together, giving us such amazing messages. So the ancestors would have us look at the here and now. That's the puppy making noise again. The here and now, the all that is. So we need to be grounded here and now, right? Grounded, to recognize our connection with Source. And doing the rituals allows us to be grounded. We have another all that is card from the ancestors, pointing us to the north. This is about our awareness that the divine in us shines. We are meant to shine on behalf of the divine, really. We are meant to shine on the earth, bringing in our ancestral historic energy. And it's pointing to the north. I'll talk about that in a second. The last ancestor card here is Jaya, the all that is. The earth, the water, the air, the sky, the spirit. This is the all that is. Very similar shape here to the Ace of Pentacles and the moon, the wholeness, the gestalt, the everything. These are incredible cards. Now, with this pointing north, this gives me one little guidepost as to what we are doing when we do all this work this week to make this change. We are barely a month away from winter solstice. Winter solstice is the time when we have the longest night. We look for the stars. From the stars we were born to the stars we shall return. So this is a clue that everything you're doing this week to make this magnificent change is in fact going to manifest itself with solstice. Now, further to that, and Socks would like to be part of this video this week, the goddess of tarot that she is, except the puppy has her cornered under the table. So we'll let that little WrestleMania play out. But in the meantime, the animals here are Eagle, who is just the most penultimate connection to Creator. It sees all, it knows all, it transmutes karma. This is the thing that says giver. You have no better support than Eagle, who sits normally in the medicine wheel in the east, and it is the one that flies the closest to Creator. And when we do smudge ceremony, when we do our rituals, it carries our prayers on the smoke to the Creator. It sees everything. It flies so high, so it gets the biggest picture. And I happen to put it here with Hermit, who is illuminating your new journey. Balancing that incredible energy is Deer, who is like the Great Mother. She would be the Empress in a normal deck. She's a loving being, the poet, the keeper of song and art and spirit. And this is just knowing that we are loved. Deer watch us in the woods. They know where we are. And when you make friends with a deer, It connects in its gentility. So as wildly ferocious and powerful as these dotems are, and these can all be dotems this week, by the way, you have deer, knowing that you are loved. She was the great mother, and she is very loving, as powerful as she is. The last dotem is cobra. Cobra is about looking within and seeing, the seeing within. It represents everything from Kundalini to Gnostic consciousness. It is an incredibly powerful animal for this week. You want that knowledge. You want that loving self-care, that acknowledgement that your heart center is being put into play here. And you want to come at it with the clarity and the directness of the eagle. All right, you can come back to me, Brian. I have no words. I just cannot believe the incredibleness of this reading. And as I say, I'm sorry it's a little bit late getting to everyone, but please know that you are loved, and this is incredible. We are building on all this energy from Samhain. So, Miigwech, Nyawen, be at peace. Aho.